Hi, this is Jody again from Jody's Gems Quilting, and today I'm sharing a video that I decided to create because I was telling one of my friends at my fitness class this morning how I can tomatoes. And trust me, this is probably not even, I don't know, not legal. So don't call me. My parents are in their upper 80s and they've done it this way forever. At least probably close to 65, 70 years they can tomatoes. Hundreds of quarts they have done in their lifetime, probably close to thousands. Anyway, recently I decided to, last year I decided to do my own tomatoes. My parents always supplied us with tomato juice because they did so many quarts, and they would travel to see us all over the country and bring me 12 quarts of tomato juice. And that's what I used to make chili. Well, after they stopped traveling when they turned 80 and I said, "You're done coming," I had to go to the store and buy it, and it was never ever as good as what they had brought. So I decided that it was time to start doing my own. And I used to make pizza sauce, used to make spaghetti sauce. I did all that many years ago, and I stopped when I found Trader Joe's and they had amazing pizza sauce for like $1 something a jar. I went, I'm not spending my time and energy doing this anymore. But the tomato juice I've never been able to replace. I've never found it as good as Mom's. So anyway, last year I decided to take my tomatoes, whatever people were throwing out and giving away and whatever, and I processed them, but I didn't process them. And I didn't hot water bath them, I didn't can them, I froze them. So I did the same thing, but I just threw them in containers, put them in the freezer. Well, this year my freezers are full and I don't have room for tomatoes and tomato juice. So I decided to go back to canning them. And after all these years, I probably haven't canned in 25 years. We moved to Phoenix, Arizona probably 25 years ago, and I didn't know how to garden down there. So I just gave it up. But always had Mom's tomato juice and Trader Joe's down the road. So anyway, so it's time to get back into it. And one of my friends was like, well, how do you do that? So I thought I'd record this, share it with her, and maybe it'll help some of you too. I'll be right back. So it all starts with tomatoes. I bought half a bushel of Roma tomatoes the other day, and it just about killed me to buy them. But I did, because I didn't know I'd be getting more from my neighbors. But whatever you get, whether you get the big ones, the Romas, any type, they are all good. So the first thing you do is you take your tomatoes. I cut the ends off, the tops off, and I just, like your corn and apple kind of, you just go down through the center and take the top off. Then I set them and wash them, sorry. And I set them in a piece of Tupperware, and I did them upside down. So back in the day, I used to hot water, boil water, fill the sink with tomatoes, pour the boiling water over, and then as quickly, without burning yourself, try to get the skins off. Well, I hated doing that. So I heard several years ago you can throw them in the freezer. And so I thought, I'm going to try that. And I did last year, and it worked great. But you can see that the skins just come right off. So you put them in the freezer. I put them in there probably overnight. I've already done one batch. This is my second batch. And I didn't have enough for the chili that I'm going to make for the winter. I would normally just make enough for that. But as you can see, they're beautiful. They do water down, so I put them in upside down. There's the top cut off. Can you see that? And this is what they look like when they came out. They've been thawing since this morning, and it's 2 in the afternoon right now. So it kind of gives you an idea. The skins will just peel right off. If they're still a little bit frozen, like this one, I just run them under hot water, and they'll just come right off. Sometimes I have to slice through it with a knife, just like skin, just skin right through it or slip right through it, and that will release it also. If it's still a little bit frozen, I cut it in half, or in this case, I can break it in half just because I'm going to blend it in the blender. All of these skins I just throw away. I always keep an extra bag from garbage, you know, like when I empty a container or anything with the zip top. And that's what I use to put all my garbage in that doesn't go to the chickens, doesn't go out to the garden for composting. If I want to throw anything away in the trash, that's where I put it. and then put it in your trash, and it will save you from having stinky trash. So what you're going to do is once you get the skins all off of them, you're going to put them into your blender. And my mom used just whatever blender she had. I mean, I think back in the day it was a Hamilton Beach or something. I put all the juice in. And now if I was going to make pizza sauce or spaghetti sauce, I might be tempted to drain that juice off and not use it. But I want the juice to go into my chili. So I have, I bought a Ninja many years ago for smoothies, and it works really, really good for this. So you just fill up your container, whoop, put your lid on it with your spout going the right direction. You have to clamp it down, and then we are going to just quickly grind this. You're going to just chop it up, grind it until it is till it's smooth, the consistency that you want. Okay. Now you will see, I think, drip across to the sink. This one was what I chopped already, and you'll see it's got a consistency of a thicker tomato juice, maybe. I don't know. I leave the seeds in and everything. We've always done that. We've never sieved them. We never strained them out. And I like the pulp and everything. So that one, these were all thawed. This one is what it looks like when it's a little colder. It's just a brighter, lighter color. And it actually, we're going to dump it all in together. I like to do it into my pressure cooker only because it has a really solid bottom to it. Then this will be coming to a boil. I'll boil that just for, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And it'll get scum, or not scum, but foam on top. So then what I do once the foam comes, which there's no way I can do that because I'd lose you, you just scoop off the foam. I put it into just a small bowl or container. I just need something metal so that it doesn't melt it. And then while that's heating and boiling and simmering, I suppose if you simmered it longer, it would make it thicker. At the same time, my mom always had an old cookie cake pan, a metal cake pan that she would use. And so she would put all the jars in the cake pan, put some water in it, put the lids in it. Sometimes she would have, if she was doing a lot of canning, she would put them in another container, another pan on the stove. And so everything's hot and boiling. So these will boil, everything gets really hot. What I found was really helpful. This is this funnel that you can tell it's 40 years old. I've used it for a long time. There's some things I didn't throw away. I did get rid of most of my jars, so I am out of jars. Luckily, I had bought these for my water pitchers in the refrigerator. I didn't want plastic anymore. And they work really good for kombucha and different things like that too. But if you need this for a small regular opening, that works to pour into. You can pour into. I also use my glass. I like it better than the plastic. I think we used to use an old Tupperware measuring cup. But I just scoop it down in when it's boiling, and then I can pour it into the jars. And when the jars are full, you do need to fill them up. Within this, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch from the top. You might get by with 1/2 inch. Then you take your, you need a metal tongs because you're also going to dip down in. And you take these out, which everything is boiling. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you're going to empty this with water. It's got water in it right now. When I get done, I'll lift this out, and I use 2 claws for that. I will probably only do 1 jar at a time because they're so big, but it takes 2 quarts of juice for my chili. And so I grabbed my 2-quart pitchers, my 2-quart glass jars, and that's what we're going to use this time. These are the only jars I had left, and this is my first batch that I did. I'm so excited. And once you put the flat on with the rubber side down, I guess I should show you that. So all of your flats and rings, okay, will have a seal. That's your rubber seal. You put that on top, and it will be very hot, so you're not going to touch it with your fingers. You're going to play with it more with tongs. Set this on top and tighten it down just enough that you can keep it from falling out. Then you lift it up with, you can get the, oh, there's grabbers that are for canning. I had those years ago, but I must have got rid of them because I was done canning. So you can lift it out, grab it by the bottom, have a wet cloth that I put on the bottom and hold it so you don't burn your hand, and then take it over to the counter and seal it down tight. After you get done with that, just go on to the next jar and the next jar, and pretty soon you'll hear a pop, pop, pop. And when they pop, they're sealed and they're good to go. You can keep them. My parents, I mean, there were some that were many years old. So whenever you open a jar, if they're several years old, just open them first. You're going to pop the top off when you do. Just peel it off. I use my fingernails, but you might need a can opener. Some people hot water bath this. I don't even know how to do that. And people are always like, don't you have a big kettle? Well, I have big kettles because I used to do a lot of it. But I might get rid of my kettles if I can do all this without it now. I just kept them because they're nice to have. But then you just take the top off. Where was I going with that? I don't know. But it should be sealed, tight. When you go to take it off, you can peel it off to use it. Oh, did you hear it pop? It went the opposite direction. That's what it'll sound like. Anyway, if they don't seal, then you can hot water bath them. Google that and see how to do it. Or you can put it in the refrigerator and use it right away. Now, my dad drank tomato juice every day. That's probably why he's living as long as he is. So keep that in mind. And just one more tip and hint for you. Have used mason jars forever. And I make my own teas. I make tea and then I put it in the fridge. So all of these, I make a lot at one time. And they have some really cool lids and seals that you can put on them. And they even have ones with handles. Of course, you know where I get all those. And they have plastic ones that come in a box that you can use. This one is leak proof. So those are kind of handy to have. They come in both sizes. And so I don't have to do the rings and the flats anymore. And quite often if you buy pickles and different things like this from the farmer's market, I just keep the jars and reuse them for tea. Anyway, hope that saves you some more money. Have a great day. Bye.